So we have the quorum, we can start. Dear shareholders, good afternoon. This is Vikrant Gandhe, Company Secretary. I am very pleased to welcome you to the 29th annual meeting of Tata Technologies Limited held through video conference. I would like to take you through certain points regarding participation at the meeting. The facility of joining the AGM through video conference or other audio-visual means is being made available for members on first-come, first-served basis. All members who have joined this meeting are by default placed on mute mode by the host to avoid any disturbance arising from background noise and ensure smooth and seamless conduct of the meeting. Once the Q&A session starts, the chairman will announce the name of the shareholders who are registered as speaker shareholder one by one. To start speaking, the shareholder is requested to click the video on button. If the shareholder is not able to join through video for any reason, the shareholder can speak through audio mode. While speaking, we would request the speaker to use the earphones so that he is clearly audible, minimize any noise in the background, ensure that Wi-Fi is not connected to any other devices, no other background applications are running, and there's proper lighting to have a good video and audio experience. If there is a connectivity problem at the speaker shareholder's end, we would ask the next speaker to join. Once the connectivity improves, the speaker shareholder will be called again to speak once the other shareholders who have registered complete their turn. We would like to request the shareholders to limit their speech 3 minutes. During the AGM, if a member faces any technical issues, he may contact NSDL helpline number mentioned in the notice of AGM. Thank you.
Dear shareholders, good afternoon and warm welcome to the 29th annual general meeting of your company. On behalf of all the employees and board of directors of your company, I thank you for your continued trust, encouragement, and support to the company and its management. We are holding this AGM of your company by VC this year as well, in compliance with the directions of the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The company has taken the requisite steps to enable members to participate and vote on the items being considered at this AGM. While it compromises the pleasure of meeting all of you in person, it does provide an opportunity to the shareholders living in far-flung areas of the globe to participate in the AGM of your company. I welcome all those shareholders who are participating for the first time. As the requisite quorum is present, I now call the meeting to order. I now call on the directors who are on video conference to introduce themselves. Now I request Ms. Usha Sangwan, Independent Director, to introduce herself, please.
Ma'am, you'll have to unmute.
Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Usha Sangwan, attending 29th AGM of Tata Technologies Limited from Bangalore. Happy to share that I also chair the audit committee of your company and happy to be here with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Nagaraj Ijari, Independent Director, to introduce himself, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nagaraj Ijari. I'm the chairman of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee and Risk Management Committee. I'm participating in this AGM from Bangalore. Thank you all and have a nice time.
Thank you. Ms. Aarti Sivanan, Independent Director, to introduce herself, please.
Good evening to everyone present here. This is Aarti. I'm a part of the board of directors and I chair the CSR committee of the company. I'm logging into this meeting from my home office in Chennai. Pleasure to meet you all. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. P.V. Balaji, Non-Executive Director, to introduce himself, please.
Good afternoon, shareholders. This is Balaji here. I'm a non-executive member on the board of directors of Tata Technologies. Delighted to be with you and have a lovely AGM today.
Thank you, Balaji. Mr. Sailesh Chandra, Non-Executive Director, to introduce himself, please.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 29th Annual General Meeting. I'm one of the board members of Tata Technologies. I'm attending this AGM from my residence in Mumbai.
Thank you, Shailesh. Mr. Warren Harris, CEO and Managing Director, to introduce himself, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm delighted to be joining the annual general meeting in 2023 from our headquarters in Pune, in Guwahati.
Thank you. The key managerial personnel present in today's AGM are Savita Balachandra and Mr. Vikrant Gandhe. The company has received 2 board resolutions from corporate shareholders appointing and authorizing representatives under Section 113 of Companies Act 2013 in respect of 31 crores 11 lakhs 25,920 equity shares, representing 76.69% of the paid-up equity capital. Since there is no physical attendance of members, the requirement of appointing proxies is not applicable. Members who have not voted earlier through remote e-voting can cast their vote in the course of the meeting through e-voting facility. Since the notice is already circulated to all the members, I take the notice convening the meeting as read. The members are also requested to note that the company had received notices in writing under Section 160 of the Companies Act 2013 from a member proposing the candidature of Mr. Nagaraj Jari as an independent director of the company and Mr. Shailesh Chandra as non-executive director of the company, respectively. So now I would like to get into my speech. So dear shareholders, it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 29th annual general meeting of your esteemed company. As the chairman, I stand before you today with a profound sense of pride and gratitude for the trust you have placed in us. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all our shareholders for their unwavering support and confidence in our vision. Your belief in the company's potential has been instrumental in our continued growth and success. The year 22-23 was marked by significant geopolitical and economic instability. The escalating conflict between Russia and Ukraine, along with growing geopolitical tensions, have had a disruptive impact on global supply chains. Furthermore, inflation has surged, particularly in developed markets. However, amidst these challenges, the outlook for the Indian economy remains positive. India is expected to sustain its position as one of the fastest growing economies with an estimated GDP growth of around 7% in FY23-24. Despite the macroeconomic challenges, I am delighted to announce that your company has delivered an impressive performance in the fiscal 22-23. We achieved a remarkable 25.1% growth in revenue, with our total revenue reaching 4,414.18 crore compared to 3,529.57 crore in the previous financial year. Our revenue from the sale of services saw an impressive surge, growing by 33.2% to rupees 3,535.22 crore as compared to 2,654.84 crore in financial year 21-22. Our operating margins expanded to 18.6%, representing a growth of 31 basis points compared to 21-22. This expansion demonstrates our commitment to operational efficiency and cost management. Profit after tax improved by 42.8% to reach 624.03 crore in FY22-23 compared to 436.97 crore in the previous financial year. These financial achievements are a result of the collective efforts and commitment of our dedicated team members. We are grateful for their hard work, expertise, and unwavering dedication to your company's success. During FY22-23, your company actively participated in the Tata Business Excellence Model Assessment, an esteemed organizational improvement methodology aimed at achieving excellence in the implementation of strategic business initiatives. I am delighted to announce that your company has achieved a score of 587, showcasing substantial improvement compared to our previous score of 553 in the 2020 assessment. This increase of 34 points demonstrates our dedication to continuous improvement and achieving excellence in all aspects of our operations. In the past 2 years, your company has experienced significant shifts in the operating environment. The ever-evolving technology landscape has compelled businesses to reimagine their approach to innovation, operations, and the delivery of products and services. Your company seized the opportunity to reaffirm its commitment to the vision of engineering a better world during this period of transformation. This vision encompasses creating a better world for our customers, employees, and the wider community. We recognize that our success is closely intertwined with the success of our customers. Therefore, we remain committed to providing cutting-edge engineering services, digital solutions, and turnkey offerings that empower our customers to thrive in an ever-changing marketplace. While prioritizing business continuity, we stayed true to the Tata ethos and continued to fulfill our responsibilities towards our employees, partners, and the communities in which we operate. Even during challenging times, we have upheld our obligations, ensuring the well-being and support of our workforce, nurturing strong partnerships, and actively contributing to the betterment of the communities we serve. By leveraging our expertise and resources, we strive to create a positive impact beyond the boundaries of our business operations. We have implemented sustainable initiatives across our operations, reducing waste, conserving energy, and promoting ethical practices. Our dedication to sustainability not only protects our planet, but also creates long-term value for our stakeholders. In the current year, we have placed significant emphasis on digitizing our operations and investing in the upskilling of our workforce. We recognize that investing in our people is essential for long-term success and strive to provide a supportive and enriching work environment. We have implemented a range of initiatives focused on learning and development, growth opportunities, performance management, and employee engagement. Through training programs, mentorship, and continuous feedback, we empower our employees to enhance their skills, achieve their full potential, and contribute to our collective success. As part of our digital branding initiative, we have launched a user-friendly, feature-rich mobile application corporate website globally. We organized multiple training programs under our global in-house technical initiative, TechVersity. TechVersity has successfully collaborated with esteemed global learning partners to obtain accreditations. Throughout the year, more than 700 next-generation engineers participated in the EDGE program, which encompassed a wide range of technologies, domains, and processes. These training initiatives played a significant role in enhancing the skills of our existing employees, leading to an increase in person days dedicated to learning. We have taken charge of managing the learning management system for a prominent aerospace client, enabling us to build competencies tailored to their specific project requirements. In conclusion, our core values of one team with customers, can-do attitude, and global mindset guide our actions and shape our commitment to delivering value to all our stakeholders. We remain dedicated to providing innovative solutions to our customers, supporting our people and communities, and driving maximum returns to our shareholders. Once again, I would like to express my gratitude to our esteemed board members, shareholders, employees, and customers. Together, we have achieved remarkable progress, and I'm confident that the future holds even greater promise. Let us embrace change, navigate challenges, and seize opportunities with courage and determination. Thank you for your unwavering trust and support. Okay. Now, coming back to the meeting, since there is no observation, qualification, or comment by the statutory auditors in the report on financial transactions or matters which have any adverse effect on the functioning of the company, the auditor's report does not require to be read. I now request Mr. Warren Harris to make his presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Once again, it is a great privilege for me to be able to present the results and the performance of your company for fiscal year 2023. I intend to take 10 to 15 minutes to provide a summary of performance. I'll double click on the financial results. I'll celebrate with you some of the key wins and strategic achievements of your company. And I'll profile for you the investments that we've made in our brand and our people. And I'll outline the commitments that we continue to make to the communities in which we live and work. If we start with a look at the overall performance of last year, as the chairman outlined, we have had a remarkable year in terms of performance. At an aggregate level, we have grown in US dollar terms the revenues by 16%. In almost 26%. If we look at our services portfolio, in US dollar terms, we've grown our services, which is the core of our value proposition, by 23% in US dollar terms, 33% in INR. For the first time in our history, we've delivered operating profit of over $100 million. And we continue to grow our business outside of the Tata Motors Group faster than we are growing our relationships with Tata Motors and JLR. Your company continues to invest in fast-growing areas such as digital and embedded electronics, and we continue to invest not just in automotive, but in associated verticals, aerospace, and transport, construction, and heavy machinery. Because of the discipline and the rigor that we continue to manage our operations, we've scaled our cash balance at the end of the fiscal year to over $180 million. And that's inspired the confidence of the board of directors to reinstate the dividend for the first time in several years. If we look specifically at the financial performance and we look at our performance in the contrast to the last 3 years, and specifically we look at services. 2 years ago, we grew our services business by $97 million. This last 12 months, we've added another $82.5 million of services to our top line. So the momentum around the growth of our services proposition continues to build. If we look at profitability, even in fiscal year 2021, the COVID impacted year of 2021, we protected the profitability of your business. And as we've seen our top line start to scale, that's afforded us the opportunity to be able to expand margins. If we look at our results in Indian rupees, the performance of our business looks even better than it does in US dollar terms. Again, as the chairman has outlined, we grew the top line by almost 26%, services by 33%. Our EBITDA margins for the first time in our history have exceeded 20%, and we've delivered a remarkable 42.5% in earnings per share. In terms of sectoral performance, automotive continues to lead the way. We've grown our automotive business by 25%, and that's been inspired by the technological transformations that we are seeing in automotive, particularly in and around the move to autonomous, the move to connected, the move to electrification, and the move to shared. Our value proposition continues to intersect with those trends, and our growth is very much the beneficiary of that. We've seen a real bounce back in the last 12 months in aerospace. You may remember that 12 months ago, I celebrated that we've been impaneled by Airbus. In the last 8 months, we built up an order book at Airbus of over 50 million euros, and that order book is yet to be discharged. We're also seeing the green shoots of improvement in transport, construction, and heavy machinery. Typically, that sector lags the automotive sector by 3 to 5 years. And so we are seeing the same sort of activity and dynamism in transport, construction, and heavy machinery today that we saw in automotive in the 2019 and 2020 timeframes. Our education proposition, our education business last year degrew, in part because of the completion of the 150 ITI transformation project that we undertook for the state of Karnataka. But what's really gratifying about our education business is that it has been an absolutely remarkable period for deal signings. We've followed on the project with the state of Karnataka with similar multi-million-dollar deals with the state of Tamil Nadu, the state of Assam, the state of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and in the last month, you may have seen in the media that we've also closed deals with Goa and the state of Chhattisgarh. From a cash perspective, as I outlined before, we continue to run our operations with discipline and rigor. And even though last year we discharged almost $36 million of cash as part of our share buyback program, we finished the year with over $180 million of cash on hand. We now look at our performance outside of just the financials, and we look at the deals that informed our results. Our turnkey electric vehicle capabilities continue to lead the market. We've closed a number of headline deals in the last 12 months. One at Renault, we have secured the responsibility for the development of 2 flexi vans for Renault, and similarly in the United States, we've won a recent deal with Bollinger Motors for a full electric vehicle that we will deliver to that organization. I positioned the success that we've had at Airbus, and our aerospace business continues to establish momentum. Again, the development of a 50 million euro order book at Airbus really augurs well for the future. And that order book includes mechanical engineering line of service, electrical engineering line of service, and our digital capabilities. In digital specifically, we've cemented our position in JLR's digital transformation. We've been given the responsibility to roll out SAP and S/4HANA in all of their production facilities around the world. And that reference has inspired confidence with Tata Motors, and they have awarded us with the smart manufacturing deployment responsibility at their Sanand 2 plant that they've recently acquired from Ford Motor Company. In terms of industry rankings, Zinnov, which is the organization that ranks engineering service providers, for the 5th time in 5 years, we've been positioned as the #1 engineering service provider in automotive in India. In the new electric vehicle ranking area, not only are we #1 in India, but we are also positioned as #2 in the global ranking, and we are investing very heavily to secure the #1 position in that incredibly important space. As the chairman outlined, we undertook a TBEM assessment last year. That's a business excellence assessment. Not only did we score an aggregate improvement, but in each area that we were assessed, in leadership, in strategy, in customer and market focus, in measurement and analytics, in how we manage our people, in how we manage our processes, in how we manage our entire operations, including business results, we saw improvement. And so not only are we investing in the tangible part of our balance sheet, we're also investing in the intangible balance sheet of our company, and that's what inspires our confidence in the future. We're also looking to continue to recruit the best and the brightest in our industry. We have invested considerably in our employee value proposition, and we continue to work hard to reinforce our brand standing in the markets that we are recruiting people from. We've done a lot of work in the appropriate social media forums, and our marketing team have done a remarkable job of securing media coverage with all of the relevant newspapers and trade magazines that attract interest from the engineering community. In terms of our people, we continue to invest in talent acquisition capabilities. As the chairman outlined in his speech, we're investing in reskilling and upskilling through TechVarsity, our internal university, and we continue to work hard to improve our employee engagement through very specific interventions that we are undertaking around the world. Last year, we recruited over 5,400 people and have swelled our employee ranks to almost 12,000 people today. As a Tata Group company, we continue to take very seriously the values of this remarkable institution. And as part of that, we continue to give back to the communities in which we live and work. Here in India, specifically, we are part of the largest science, technology, engineering, and math awareness program that's ever been rolled out in this country. And through that program, we've touched almost 30,000 students. Our flagship Ready Engineer program that readies engineers for the workplace when they leave college and university, and leverages our I Get It platform. We've touched over 6,000 engineers, and we're incredibly proud of the partnership that we have with the Lena Pulawalla Foundation. And through that partnership, we've sponsored and promoted 300 women who are pursuing degrees in science, technology, engineering. In conclusion, the last 12 months has been a remarkable 12 months for your company. We have pushed through the $500 million revenue threshold. For the first time in our history, we've delivered over $100 million of operating profit. And we built an order book that is larger than any order book that we have had in our history. And that certainly augurs well for our ability to be able to continue the momentum that we've established in all areas of our portfolio. That could not have happened if it was not for the support that we have received from specific individuals and stakeholder groups. I would like to thank our former chairman, Mr. Ramadorai, for his long-standing support and leadership for this company. Make no mistake, this company would not be where it is today if it had not been for his contribution over the years. I'd like to thank the current chairman and the board of directors for their confidence in the leadership team and in the employees of our organization. I'd like to thank the leadership of Tata Technologies and the 12,000 people that we have in different parts of the world for their tireless efforts. And I would like to thank the shareholders for their patience and their ongoing support of this company. Thank you.
Thank you, Warren. I now request the company secretary to explain the sequence of meeting and process of voting on the resolutions in the meeting.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. The Companies Act 2013 provides for electronic voting. Accordingly, the company had provided its members the facility to cast their vote through remote e-voting system administered by NSDL. Facility for voting at the meeting is also provided for members present here and who have not voted. Members may please go to the voting page of NSDL e-voting website and cast their vote. Mr. Devant Bhave, practicing company secretary, has been appointed as scrutinizer to scrutinize the votes cast at the meeting and through remote e-voting. Since the AGM is being held through video conference or other audio-visual means, and the resolutions mentioned in the notice convening this AGM have already been put to vote through remote e-voting, there will not be any proposing or seconding resolutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikrant. I'll now call Mr. Arun Kumar Bopanna, who has registered himself to speak at the meeting. Mr. Bopanna, please.
Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
Mr. See and hear you clearly. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon to everybody. Compliments for the 25% growth in revenue, and in services at 33%. PAT has increased by 42%. And compliments for undergoing this TBM metrics. And Tata Technology with core values of one team with customers, can-do attitude and global mindset surely will delight customers, inspiring people. Trek has a scripted history, but is now being overused and abused. It is like putting coins in pockets with holes. What is Tata Technology defense mechanism with misuse of technology? And my questions, why no preferential shares are offered to Tata Motors shareholders? Will the CFO Savitha Balachandran answer this question? And same thing with even Mr. Balaji should look into that. What innovative solution did you offer to Tata Motors in the last year? Where are the new markets and what are the new innovative solutions? Who are our competitors offering engineering, design, digital manufacturing, PLM, product lifestyle management solutions, etc.? What products did you offer in digital to improve employee engagement, recognition, and talent acquisition during the last year? Did you offer any products in renewable energy for safer and cleaner energy and better quality? And what are Tata Technology plans to for the skill mismatch with new age courses like coding, AI, and robotics? How does Tata Technology use the digital mission? In today's world of scams and cyber crimes, regulations are required to avoid. We can be reduced to dust with cyber crimes. Was Tata Technology a victim of any cyber crime? Lastly, after all the tech and scientific innovations, humans' true role on the planet will be known when they learn to dialogue with the animal world too. In conclusion, the past can only be remembered, the present only be experienced, but the future must be crafted. I wish Tata Technology all the best. Sir, I'm on 3 instruments with three AGMs now. I'm totally in chaos, actually. I hope Savitha Balachandran gives shares to the Tata Motors shareholders. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bopanna. Good to see you. Now let me move on to the next shareholder. I'll answer the questions maybe at the end once all the questions are there. I'll now call Mr. Naveen Bothra, who has registered himself to speak at the meeting, please.
Yeah. A very warm wishes and greetings to Chairman Mr. Ajayendran Mukherjee, CEO and Managing Director Mr. Warren Harris, and distinguished board members and management team of Tata Technologies, and as also our parent company Tata Motors, Mr. Shailesh Chandra and Mr. Balaji. Welcome all and good afternoon to all. It's myself, Naveen Bothra, attending this virtual 29th AGM from Delhi. I have been attending Tata Technologies AGM since 2017, and it's our pleasure. When we had the pleasure of also meeting legendary Ramodrai sir, as also Warren Harris, and had great discussions also. also. It's our pleasure to welcome our Chairman Ajayendra Mukherjee. Big shoes to fill, but we wish him all the very best. And all the new directors on the board also we welcome. We cherish the memories of meeting Mr. Ramodarai sir, legendary Ramodarai sir at Pune 3 or 4 times in the AGMs. We look forward to meeting you and the team at the earliest possible opportunity. Maybe if you can organize a pre-IPO meet of existing shareholders, some institutions and all these things, if you can plan, it will be our pleasure to attend this at the Pune. Since last 4 years, AGM are all being held virtually. So we would request you to kindly consider this. First of all, I would like to congratulate the management team at Tata Technology under our dynamic CEO, under the dynamic leadership of Mr. Warren Harris on the solid performance in last 2 to 3 years, and especially this year, achieving highest ever profits and operating metrics, and even achieving more than $500 million in revenue marks with high double-digit growth. Congratulations, sir, and to the team, despite all the macroeconomic challenges and the Russia-Ukraine war also. So, in lighter vein, we can say, ye dil mange more. Ye dil mange. I would like to say that like TATAELXSI, Tata Technologies has also turned out to be a huge wealth creator for me as well as to other shareholders also in the last 6 to 7 years of my investments. And we congratulate the management. Kudos to the team for excellent works continuing in the last 3 to 4 years despite of challenges in the earlier years. Also, I would like to wish the team a mass success of our proposed IPO, which I think is likely very soon, which is already making a lot of news in the markets. To start with, sir, Chairman, sir, I have the following points for your consideration and look forward to your valuable insights, views also, sir. Number 1 is, sir, innovating future mobility journey towards $1 billion revenues. Sir, the theme of our this year's annual report is innovating future mobility. Kindly share your views on the theme, as we find very little information in this annual report, and as to how we are planning to invest in the relevant technologies in the future of mobility, which is going a fast change. I recall 3 to 4 years ago, I talked to Mr. Warren Harris, and he said that it's upon us that we will be seeing a very soon the energy transition. But when it will happen, I cannot say. But the COVID has accelerated this space. So I would like to know if Mr. Warren Harris can tell that what relevant technologies we are investing in and would like to harness to capture all the energy transition things which are happening at an accelerated speed in this environment. Further, kindly, sir, if you can enlighten us on the way from $500 million to $1 billion and beyond, that will be helpful to all the long-term shareholders. Number 2, sir, briefly you talked about TACVersity. So we would appreciate the efforts being made in training and upliftment of employees through TTL TACVersity. So in this regard, if you can kindly enlighten us on the functioning of this TTL TACVersity, and are we planning to monetize this capability for revenue generation from external clients also? And number 3, sir, setting up of common engineering facilities. We have talked about setting up common engineering facilities for MSMEs, SMEs, engineering facilities, centers for benefit of MSMEs and SMEs. So I would like to request you to kindly share your views on the operations of these centers. Number 4, sir, education vertical in Mr. Warren Harris, the detailed presentation. We got a little bit of feel about the revenues and all these things generated, but all these things are education vertical has been started 3 years back, but very little information is coming except the social media and all these news articles. So from the financial terms of point of view, we would like to know from you that how this vertical is working, what is the business model, and what is the way ahead with various state governments and IITs. What is our value proposition, and what we as shareholders or as a socially responsible or a corporate citizen, how it is going to be a business proposition in the education vertical, sir. Education vertical. And to close, number 5, I have requested in my mail that I would like to once again request you to kindly share the relevant operating metrics data. I have already mailed to Mr. Vikrant sir. So if you can share the relevant operating data, because in post IPO, all these quantitative metrics will matter quite a lot. So if you can provide the CS data, it will be quite helpful to compare in the future, for the future analysis and study also, sir. So to conclude, I wish the management team all the very best in the very exciting times ahead in our new avatar of a listed company from Tata Group, a respected Tata Group. After a very long time, in fact, after TCS IPO, our company will be the first IPO from Tata Group. So wish all the very best to the team and Warren, especially Mr. Warren Harris also. We now have 7 board members, and in Hindu it is said, Hindu culture, Hindu religion, it is said that 7 represents Indradhanush, 7 colors of Indradhanush. So wish all these colors come in different sets for the progress of our company, because from the starting point we will be, I think, in the top 125, 130 companies as per the market capitalization. So we request the management to kindly share little bit more data, granular data, operating metrics before the IPO for this concluded financial year, as also the quarterly results we were giving after the Tata Motors results, single page results we were giving on our website, but that has also stopped in the last 3 to 4 quarters. So kindly give this year's June quarter results on our website. It will be helpful, sir. So I have already voted favor in all the resolutions and support all the resolutions. And I do propose a vote of thanks to the board. Thanks to Vikrant sir, Raghav sir, for smoothly coordinating flawless participation in this meeting. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And also, thank you very much for coming back on the dividend list and giving to the shareholders bonus and split also. Huge wealth creation. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Bothra. And I will now call Mr. Vasudev Ramaswamy, who has registered himself to speak at the meeting. Mr. Ramaswamy, please.
Recording in progress.
Mr. Ramaswamy, you may now unmute your mic and ask your question.
Mr. Ramaswamy, on the left side bottom of the page, there is an option of selecting the microphone and speaker. Please do that.
Rita, maybe we can move to the next speaker and come back to Mr. Ramaswamy again.
Recording in progress. And then we'll come back, Mr. Ramaswamy. Don't worry. Meanwhile, you get your problem addressed with the technology. We'll come back to you. May I request Mr. B. Srinivasa Reddy, who has registered himself to speak at the meeting, to come online. Mr. Reddy, please.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. You are able to hear me?
Yes, we can. Good evening.
Yeah. So, congratulations at the outset for the excellent performance by the Tata Technology team. I'm a shareholder from 2010, in past 13 years. So, as far as my questions are concerned, regarding this vertical of e-varsity or educational portal, the details are not there. Financial metric details of that vertical are not there in the annual report. So we appreciate as shareholders if you are able to give segregated numbers for that educational division and the future scope and scope of growth for that educational division. And the second question is regarding the earlier from 2013-14, there was a guidance of $1 billion, $1 billion, one to win sort of thing reported through the annual reports of the previous years for 2018-19 year. And somehow it did not work out. But as an older shareholder, I would appreciate if you can guide what about the old target of 1 billion, when you will be able to achieve that aspirational target. That was set way back in 2018. So we would appreciate if you can throw light on that future medium to short to medium term prospects of the revenues and margins and other metrics, financial metrics. And my third question is regarding the tentative IPO time frame. If you can enlighten us about that news, we'll appreciate that also. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Mr. Siddiqui?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you very much. I don't know how to turn on this video, so I'm able to do that.
It'll be good to see you, but if you can't do that, maybe we can hear you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. First of all, thanks a lot, everybody, the entire management, the promoters for creating, and congratulations on creating a fantastic company. And as a shareholder, I want to thank you because it has been a wealth creator for me and a lot of people associated with me. I've been a shareholder for, I don't even recollect since when, many, many years. So I will keep my interaction brief so that the time can be allotted to some others having some more questions. So I'll jump directly to the questions. On the balance sheet, I'll go to the receivables. We see that receivables are more than 6 months, are about 46 crores. And we have made an allowance of 56 crores, which is a good thing. However, the receivables themselves have increased by almost 50%. Of course, there is a top line growth, matching top line growth as well. So my question is whether this increase, 50% increase in receivables is a matter of concern, and this 56 crores of allowance is adequate to cover it. That is first. Next questions are related to the IPO. So I'm sure you will be getting a lot of these questions. We received the SEBI approval quite a while back, and there is no news on when the RHP is going to be filed, when we are actually going to go public. Road shows haven't, it seems, started yet. So, or a timeline on any particular reason why whether RHP filing is delayed. Are we getting stuck, or are we on course? Are we as planned? That is one. That is the second question. That is, when is it expected to be filed, and when can we expect our company to be public, that is listed? Will it be in this quarter, next quarter, or any time frame that the management has in mind? Of course, it is subject to external factors like SEBI and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, etc., and of course the market conditions. Next is what are the projections for the next few quarters, and if possible for the next few years, and with the breakup of aerospace and automotive. And picking up from Mr. Warren Harris's presentation, I'm adding another question where we said that we have received a 50 million euro order from Airbus, and it has not yet been fructified into the balance sheet or in the P&L. So when is it going to start reflecting in the P&L? That is the execution. And what component of it is expected? Or can you give a breakup of FY24, FY25? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Siddiqui. Maybe we'll go back to Mr. Vasudev Ramaswamy to check if the technical problems are resolved. Mr. Ramaswamy, please.
Afternoon. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mukherjee. Good afternoon, Mr. Warren. How are you all? Oh, Savita ji and my professional colleague, Mr. Vikrant Gandhi. Good afternoon to all. I am Ramaswamy, attending this 29th AGM from Delhi. Congratulations to the team at TATAELXSI on the good operational performance. And congratulations on the awards and accolades. I have got the following 2-3 points for your consideration, Mr. Chairman. Firstly, capital allocation policy. Sir, we have come to the dividend list, and also we have given a special dividend, and this has happened after a gap of almost 3 years. Very, very much appreciated. While we appreciate this, we still have good cash balance as well as free cash flow generation out of our business. Kindly share your views on the capital way of optimal way of capital allocation for the company. On this, for growth capex, what is the capex planned for financial year 23-24? Are we planning any inorganic acquisition during this year? And if that is so, what is the budget for that? Also, sir, kindly share your R&D budget for the financial year 23-24. Now, sir, I'll come to the attrition rate. See, we are reporting in the director's report, there is an attrition rate of 21.7%. This is also seems to be slightly high, though it may be, at par with the industry, but for the company it is not that good. So, are we having any plan for talent retention and attrition policy so that we attract good talent and retain them? So, last but not the least, I am a small mini schools shareholder in the company, and I am a long-term shareholder also. I was just going through the annual report. Again, this is not, this is not prepared as a detailed integrated annual report detailing the 7 capitals of the company, though it is not mandatory for the company as we are unlisted as of now. Since we are going to be listed very shortly, and that too from a Tata stable, this integrated annual report would have been highly appreciated and welcomed by the shareholders. This can be taken as a suggestion, but not as a sort of complaint. Let me read back to Mr. Vikrant Gandhi. Thanks a lot for the opportunity, sir. All the very best to the team. Thanks a lot again. Again, thanks for taking me back because there was a technical goof up, which I have resolved accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ramsam. Thank you very much. So, now, I will try and get back to the questions that you have raised and try to answer each one of them. But before I start, I would just like to state one thing, that we are in the process of IPO. So as a result, we do have certain constraints because of the regulatory requirements. And within those constraints, I will try and answer the questions that you have raised. So some of it may not be as detailed as what you would have expected, but please kindly do bear with us. I think, Mr. Bopanna, if I come to your questions, the first one, of course, you asked was in terms of the IPO and why can't the shares be allotted to the TML shareholders? Well, what I can state at this point is that IPO is an offer for sale by promoters and other promoter group companies. All we can do is we can take your suggestion and pass it on to them, and then let us see what happens. So that is all that I can tell you about as an answer to your question number one. Now, coming back to your question on what we have been working with as far as Tata Motors is concerned in the last year. So if you look at from a policy perspective, it will be difficult to get into very specifics about the work that we are doing for our clients because we are bound by confidentiality. So at this stage, all that I can share with you is the knowledge that is in the public domain. But before that, all I want to assure you is that the anchor customers, as far as we are concerned, are very critical, very important to us. And Tata Motors, we have been working jointly on a number of initiatives for the entire product life cycle. So that is the way to develop our skills, and that is the way for innovation, developing innovative solutions. And that is how we have been helping Tata Motors as well to achieve their objectives. Now, some of the things that are there in the public domain in which we have worked with Tata Motors are, if you look at the industry itself, the way it is going from ICE towards EV. And so we have worked with Tata Motors in their EV transformation. And we have been pretty successful as far as all our deliveries are concerned. And I think there are not many who have, within India, who have done this kind of work, starting from design to the complete life cycle, including meeting the safety standards of Global New Car Assessment Program at 4-star rating. So that we have done. And then the other one is we have been working with Tata Motors in several award-winning innovations, such as Connected Vehicle Program, which was awarded at World Auto Forum. And also, we have done Industry 4.0, and which was recognized in Tata Innovista programs. So these are some of the areas that we have been working and with Tata Motors. Now, coming to the new markets and our innovative solutions, I think build our presence in all the geographies where manufacturing per se as a sector is important. So if you look at primarily, we feel France, Germany, China, these are some of the geographies where there will be good demand, and we are focusing in these geographies as well. And what we think is the global delivery model that we have created with the kind of talent pool that we have, we will be able to meet the requirements of these markets from the global delivery model itself. But we are open to look at specific delivery centers if required to meet, let's say, the target country's requirement, which are country specific. Now, I think you heard Warren's presentation where he talked about, in a way, what we can give at this stage about the industry, where it is going, and looking at the future. What are the areas which are important from the industry perspective? If you look at it, it's primarily the shift towards sustainable kind of development is driving shift towards EVs. And there are, from a passenger or the customer's experience point of view, these are more and more of connected vehicles. That is becoming important. So we have done our own solution, some of it along with Tata Motors and some of it ourselves, in terms of ICE to EV conversion solutions, full-scale EV simulation, and in terms of innovations around connected vehicle and firmware over-the-air update solutions. So these are some of the areas that we have been working on, and we are definitely focused on scaling up our embedded and digital capability to meet the requirements of our customers. Our innovations, as Warren said, some of it you have seen is recognized by Zinnov, and we are, as far as India is concerned, we are rated at #1, and globally we are #2. Now, coming to the next question of competitors, I think primarily if you look at, these are pure play ER&D service providers in India. Then we have the overall IT service providers are also competitors to us. They compete in some areas where we are present. And of course, the global ER&D service providers. So these are primarily the competition that we have. Now, your question was in terms of what we have done in the renewable energy, if we have given any specific products. The answer is that our work is primarily meeting our vision, which is engineering a better world. And the work that we are doing is mostly in the automotive sector in terms of EV stage, but we have not really come up with any product which is directly given to the renewable for addressing the renewable energy market per se. Now, then I think we looked at, there was a question on the Airbus, the deal, and how much is there. I think that question came later, but maybe since we are, or maybe I'll address that later on. The question was in terms of how was the last year. I think most of it you have heard in Warren's presentation. So let me not repeat. We have done very well as far as the last year is concerned, and the technology is continuously changing. It's a dynamic world, and we need to be continuously aware of where technology is heading and continuously keep our people trained, ensure that they have the right capability, and so that we are ready ahead of the market and we are ready to deploy our people where required. And also in terms of doing the necessary R&D and innovation, so that we are ready to have our own products, our own offerings to meet the customer's requirements. So I think that is where I will say where we are. And aerospace, I think, as Warren mentioned, that is definitely showing a good growth, and our teams are addressing that market diligently. Now, I think there was a question by you related to the employee engagement program and what have we done. So I think in my answer so far, I think what we have mentioned is that people are the key as far as any services industry is concerned. And for us also, ensuring that our people have the right skills and the right talent is important. And so I think one of the questions later on also came on the attrition side. So if you look at, we have improved our engagement with the talent pool that we have. And we have, in terms of being constantly connected, having our listening platforms, and looking at the kind of development, the talent in terms of the capability that we need to provide, in terms of mobility from project to project, from geography to geography, in terms of developing, let's say, the skills that we talked about. So these are some of the things that we are doing, which is definitely helping. So, and you have seen in my speech where we mentioned that our the total training number of days has gone up as compared to the previous year. So that is justifies that. Now we are also doing a lot of recognition as far as our employee base is concerned from employee recognition programs, and compensation is definitely one of the areas which also has an impact on talent retention. And we have looked at it, we have evaluated ourselves against our competition, and we have taken corrective steps as far as this year is concerned. And so this is, and we do have a way of measuring our own engagement score. And sometimes we also take help of third party to realize what kind of engagement scores that we have. And we have improved from our previous years. And we are at a pretty high level as far as the engagement is concerned. So that's good for us. I think you also asked about the skill mismatch and the new technologies where we are going in terms of AI, in terms of robotics. And so all I can say is that we have a very solid training program where I think we talked about the tech varsity. Warren presented what we are doing in that area. And we have established, we get good amount of content from our own internal expertise that we have in the domain, and as well as the technology due to implementation of various programs at our customer sites. That is one source. And secondly, we have also built up alliances with business partners and with other academics from where we are sourcing content for our people. So if you look at the AI and machine learning side, there's good amount of work that is going on. And especially in terms of, let's say, the automation in terms of driving and things like that. So a number of work engagements that are going on at this stage, specifically mostly in the pilot phase, in the research kind of area. So we do have a good, let's say, overall ecosystem for developing talent of our people. Now, I think you did mention about cybercrime. And so as far as we are concerned, we have a solid team from our internal for ensuring that all our networks and are totally tamper-proof to a certain extent. And at the same time, we ensure that we have necessary processes to ensure that outside devices, if that comes into our systems, in that case, these are properly scanned to ensure that there are no virus attacks and things of that kind. So we do have the processes in place to ensure that the company assets are safe. So I think, Mr. Bopona, I have addressed most of the questions that you have asked. So now maybe I'll move on to Mr. Bothra's questions. And Mr. Bothra, I think what you have asked is one about the $1 billion revenue milestone. And I think the same question Mr. Ramaswamy also asked later on. So maybe I can answer that question here itself. See, from our point of view, at this stage, it will be very difficult to give you any plan or anything of that kind as to what is our strategy or in what way we are heading there, things of that kind. So only thing that we can say, partly because of the IPO position that we are in, so any futuristic statements will be difficult. But only thing that I can say is the team is addressing, they have a solid strategy and they are working towards growth of the organization. Now, you also asked about the future mobility. And I think that was addressed in Warren's presentation to a great extent. If you look at the basic things that are going on is most of the OEMs are going towards the ensuring that the carbon targets are met, and electrification is expected to be the top focus area for automotive industry. And as the OEMs are getting more and more pressure from regulations on passenger safety and cost pressures resulting in increased focus. So that basically provides a solid opportunity for service providers like us. So that is an area for growth. And similarly, even in the smart manufacturing area, I think part of it was talked about in Warren's presentation as well, where we are focusing on or from our growth perspective. And then some of the things that specifically what we have done in this area, I think I have covered that while answering Mr. Bopanna's question. Maybe I can repeat. One is ICE to EV conversion. If you look at, there is good amount of capability that we have done, and we have worked jointly with Tata Motors in developing that capability. And so it's been a joint innovation, and it's been pretty successful. Then we have done full EV simulation as far as our to build our capability for the future mobility side to address that requirement. And then we are also investing in terms of sustainable engineering, and so that we help our customers achieve their sustainability targets. And in the AI side as well, we have done good amount of work. I think I referred to that both in the AI and machine learning space. We are working with a couple of customers in that space. And in the generative AI side, it's something that is still being looked at as to in what way we can use this technology to improve and reduce our delivery cycle, or in what way this will help our customers. And so this is something that that is under consideration at this point in time by our teams. So then the other one was in terms of the software defined vehicles and things of that kind. So that is where, again, there's a lot of work that is being done within the organization. So then I think we come back to the question on the skill development, tech versity. I think I have explained that mostly in the previous, as an answer to the previous question. And if you look at the kind of work that we are doing mostly, this basically addresses three things. One is when we get fresh talent from the universities into the organization, how do we ensure that they are trained and they get the necessary capability to be deployed on customer engagements? That is a focus area. Secondly, it is in terms of ensuring that our talent base continuously learns. And that is a process where you have to continuously provide technical content to our existing employees so that they can go through that and they can upgrade their skills. So this is more of upskilling our talent base. And then what comes out is in terms of managerial skills, soft skills, because as you grow, as you expand, your management bandwidth also has to increase. And that is what is also being addressed with these talent development kind of activity that is going on within the organization. I think one question also you had asked is either you or one of the others is, are we using tech versity, the content that we are creating, is there any scope for commercialization of that content? The answer is yes, there is. And we are using part of it, depending on, of course, the segment that we are addressing in our education vertical. If that needs some content which is already developed for our internal talent pool, and if it is something that we can share, we definitely take it out into the general platform, which is called I Get It. And that is on that platform, we are, most of our education vertical work is being provided to the customers directly. So that is, I think I've addressed your question fully. Now, coming to, I think you had also asked what kind of common engineering facilities are being set up to address MSMEs. And well, this is something that we are working along with some of the state governments, and which will be owned and operated by the state governments. And what we are doing is providing the necessary infrastructure. We are helping them create the necessary content so that this center can be utilized by the MSME segments. They can use in a shared kind of facility to develop their skill sets. And this is where we also manufacturing sector, and that goes back to MSMEs. Now, education vertical, I think you asked about the kind of revenue and the kind of growth potential and things of that kind. So maybe if you look at the total revenue Warren mentioned, I think it is close to about 47 million. And he also said that given the kind of work that we have done in Karnataka and given the kind of responses that we have been getting, we have signed on more deals as a follow-up to that. So that basically shows that the kind of work that we are doing, it is being appreciated by the customers, it is being appreciated by the government, and it is also being appreciated by the people who are undergoing that training for their skilling. So that is one. And so financial details are provided, and then you had okay. So now I think your last question was on operating metrics data. That is what I have noted down. And so, Mr. Bothra, I think given, as I said, our IPO position, it will be difficult to get into the details at this point in time beyond what we have already shared. And you can always connect with our company secretary at a later point in time and then see how much of it can be shared, and you can definitely have a dialogue with him. So at this stage, I'm not getting into the operating metrics data here, but we do take your suggestion. And maybe once the IPO is over, and then we will look at what kind of information needs to be shared based on looking at the entire industry. And we will try and incorporate some of the suggestions that you have made. Now, Mr. Ramaswamy, if I come to your questions, please, is from I think you asked about the capital allocation and the kind of cash that we need. Well, I think you would appreciate that we are at a growth phase at this point in time, and the company does need the cash. And it's good that after a few years that we were able to declare a dividend, and I think you also appreciated that. So now, how much of cash we need is given, or you also asked whether there is any inorganic kind of opportunity that we are looking at or not. Well, this is something that will be company has as a strategy, and that the cash will be required for various things for our investments, including inorganic growth, if at all there is an opportunity that comes up. But at this stage, it will be difficult to comment on it. So I will restrict my comment to what I have already said and will not go beyond that. From an R&D point of view, I think if you see our whole organization is based on the success of R&D, the kind of innovation that we do, because otherwise, given the kind of disruptions that are happening in the manufacturing space, given the kind of disruption that is happening in the automotive sector, unless we do the necessary R&D and do necessary innovations, we will not be able to survive. And the fact is we are growing, we are getting good customer feedback, and that shows that we are doing R&D. So R&D is spread across the organization. So the budgets are given to, there is a central unit, but also at the same time, to other verticals as well. So, and they have sufficient funds to continue with their innovation, and these are reviewed, and these are to see that the work that is being done is also taken to the market when the time comes. Now, I think there was a question on the attrition rate. You did mention that it is 21.7%. You are absolutely right. And you also said that it is high. I do agree with you that the attrition rate of 21.7%, if you look at the industry, then probably we will be on par with the industry. But definitely, I agree with your comment that it is high. And we are taking necessary steps within the organization to do the needful. Some of it we talked about, which is in terms of improving our engagement with employees, in terms of having a proper listening post. And it is not enough to have a listening post. It is what matters is how do you listen and how do you act on what you are listening. So because that is the way employees will get the feel that yes, they are being taken care of, and whatever they say at least gets addressed to a certain extent. So that is important. Then in terms of talent development activity that is going on, the employees see a value in terms of their capability moving up. And at the same time, they are also able to contribute to the organization's growth, which also gives them a satisfaction. That is important. And of course, compensation, as I said earlier in the responses to Mr. Bopanna's question, is important. And we have reviewed where we are, and we have taken necessary steps to plug the gaps. And I'm sure the team would do the needful to ensure that we improve our retention rates as we go forward. Now, your suggestions, I think other thing that you mentioned about the integrated annual report. So I think we will give that suggestion. We'll see how do we take it into account and what do we do going forward. So that is, I hope I have answered your questions. Now, Mr. Reddy's questions, if I come to these questions, I think the first one was in terms of education vertical, what we are doing, and the future scope of it. I think most of it we have already covered, Mr. Reddy. So I think if you look at the Techversity, if you look at the kind of work that we have been doing with the state governments, and the fact that we have been, this year Warren mentioned that though there is a dip in the revenue, but there are number of deals that we have won, and that augurs well for our future as far as this vertical is concerned. So that is the education side. And I think your next question was in terms of that in 2018, there was an aspirational statement that was made that we aspire to be a $1 billion kind of a company, and what is happening to that. And I think I did address it while we were talking about Mr. Bopanna's questions. Well, at this stage, it will be difficult to get into and chalk out a plan and share it with you that these are the steps that we take. And once we do that, we will hit that 1 billion milestone. And internally, there are a number of things that are being discussed. Growth is definitely one. And what should be our aspirational targets and things of that kind. And if you see the results, we are growing, and the growth is phenomenal as far as what we are achieving. And the teams have done a phenomenal work. So I think I'll leave it there and not get into the detailed strategy to be at 1 billion and restrict ourselves only to that. I think there is a number of things that can be done and which are being done at this stage. And probably something more we will be in a position to share once our IPO is out of the way. I think that was the last question that you also had, where you talked about the IPO and if we can share any more news on this and when will it come out, and so questions related to that. Unfortunately, the answer is that at this stage, I will not be able to give you any further details other than what is already shared in the public domain. So, Mr. Reddy, please bear with us at this point in time, and hopefully next time we will not be constrained, and we will be. Let us see what happens, and we'll be able to answer some of it in more details. Now, coming to Mr. Siddiqui, you mentioned about, I think, the receivables going up and whether it is a matter of concern or not. Well, I think you did address a very good question, and the answer is, I think you have answered it yourself also when you mentioned that you do see a top line growth, and some of it could be responsible for this. So you were just wondering whether it is a matter of concern or not. All I can say is that your thinking is right, that it is because of the growth that the company has seen. As a result, receivables has gone up. And also there are some cases of collection delays, and the team is very much on the job, and they are doing the needful. But there is no concern as far as the receivables are concerned. That is all that I can tell you at this point in time. And now, the next two questions, I think you have answered yourself, sir, which is in terms of delay, in terms of filing the RHP, and the projections for the next few quarters or years, if we can share with you. I wish we could, but at this time, my hands are tied, and we will not be able to give you any further details on these two topics. And so the next question, I think the last one that you had was also a question that emanated from Warren's presentation, where he talked about a 50 million euro deal from Airbus. And he did mention that, yes, it is in the order book and it has not been realized as yet, which is true. And I think deals of this nature, it takes time. It goes through various phases within the organization to really realize it, because those adequate projects have to be planned, they have to be executed. And so it is difficult to tell you at this point in time how much will be in this financial year, how much will be next, or whether it overflows to years beyond that as well. So, but all I can say is that it is a landmark deal as far as Tata Technologies is concerned. This is a very large deal, and it augurs well for us in order to develop our competencies for the future to address this critical market that we have been working on for a while. So that is all I think that I would like to say at this point in time. I hope I have answered all your questions that you had raised, and except for the operating metrics side, there again, I think you understand that it will be difficult for us to share something outside what we have already done in our DHRP. But later on, I think you can get in touch, as I said, with the company secretary to see if we can do anything better. So that is it. And I must thank all of you for very detailed and insightful questions and suggestions which you have given. And we will definitely take that and see how much of it we can implement and when. So thank you, all of you, for really coming up with these questions. Now, maybe what I will do is I now authorize Mr. Vikrant Gandhe, the company secretary, to conduct the voting procedure and conclude the meeting. The e-voting facility will remain open for the next 15 minutes to enable members to cast their vote. The results would be announced on or before 29th of July, 2023, and the same would be uploaded on the website of the company and NSDL. I thank the shareholders for attending the meeting and for their continued support. I also thank the directors for joining the meeting remotely. With your consent, I and the other board members would like to leave the meeting. I request all shareholders to stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Tech support, please stop the recording.